Hello everybody, welcome back to Exotic Wilderness. Today we're doing the first reptile tour of the year, so let's begin. So to kick off today's reptile tour, I'm going to be starting with my White's tree frog enclosure. As you might be able to tell, I just added this cool vinyl sticker to it yesterday, which looks awesome. Also, you can tell since the last update on my White's tree frog enclosure, I added these two Jamaica plants. I'm not sure of the name of them. They revolve around that type of name, and they're a really cool plant. And right here we have my two White's tree frogs hanging out in their frog holder. As you can see, BB is chilling right on Tyson, which is really funny. Sometimes Tyson's sitting on top of BB, or BB sitting on Tyson. It's quite often, actually. So far, while adding these plants, they seem to really enjoy climbing all over the leaves, which somehow withstand their heavy weight. Also, in the meantime, I will be saving up so I can hopefully purchase a new White's tree frog around the springtime. I'm either depending on getting a super snowflake, a normal snowflake, or a blue-eyed White's tree frog. There are many choices on what I should buy and many morphs, so I have a lot of time to figure it out. In the meantime, I'm just going to be saving up for them to have a new brother or sister. And right here we have Stumpy the Crimson Day Gecko. As you can tell, around his tank he has some cool decor with these really cool driftwood. Stumpy here used to be housed with my dad's White's tree frogs, but with how messy he is, he just got moved to his own enclosure. And Stumpy has some really cool colors, as you can tell. He has some really cool scaling. And if you're wondering how Stumpy got his name, when my dad first got him, he had a stumpy tail, but it eventually fell off and he grew a new one, which looks way better than the first one. So Stumpy here is definitely a really cool gecko. He has amazing colors, and there he goes. And I believe he is housed in a 20 to 15 gallon tank right here. And not too long ago, Stumpy laid this infertile egg. Sadly, it's not fertilized because there is no male housed with Stumpy. Stumpy normally is on the front of his glass, or he's back there chilling in his leaves, hiding and hunting his crickets. In this front opening 20 gallon tank, we have Rocky, the albino hognose snake. Rocky is a really cool albino morph, and I really like his colors. Right now, he came out to get a little drink in his water dish. You can tell they're called hognose snakes because of their nose. They have like a little hognose is what they call it. And Rocky seems to be really friendly today with the camera and is getting really close. So, hello Rocky. Rocky is getting really big, and I believe he is around 1 to 2 years old, so he's getting pretty big. And he's doing really well. Not too long ago, he got upgraded into this 20 gallon tank. And just look at that beautiful pattern on his scales. It's incredible. And he also has a very nice setup with some really cool wood. And there he goes slithering away into the back of his tank. Earlier in the video, you may have saw him sticking his head out of this little hide, but now he decided to come out and roam around a little bit. And I believe aspen wood is being used for him for his substrate now, which he loves. Same with the other hognose you'll see later in this video, and they love to make these little burrows and tunnels all throughout it. It works really well for snakes like this. And there he is again, you can see his bright red eyes. That's where they get their albino name. Most albino animals have red eyes and more of a whiter skin color. As for the snake, he has more of an orange and white color pattern, which makes them look awesome. And hognoses are really cute with their hognoses. That's why they're a very popular snake. Just look at how cute he is, just chilling there. So right here in this 18 by 18 by 18, it is home to a really big species of gecko, which is the Leachianus gecko, and her name is Fiona. Fiona here weighs 170 grams. Look at how big she is compared to my hand. She'll get at least as long as my arm. She's really big. This is one of the biggest gecko species in the whole world. Look at how big her paws are. Crazy big gecko. And Fiona is around 2.5 years old, so she's getting pretty big for that age. And there she goes running. See you later, Fiona. In this reptile tour, we may not show longer clips of these animals because most of the animals are going to kind of a brumation, as in Michigan it gets cold for winters and stuff. So they're kind of going into a brumation season, so we're going to try to do our best in this video. So some clips might be longer and some animals might have shorter clips. So please be aware of that. Here's Draco in the bright light. He's a really big crested gecko. And Draco here is around 3 years old. Crested geckos are from New Caledonia, so they're considered New Caledonian geckos. And something really cool about crested geckos and some other geckos is that their ears are right here on the sides of their heads. And right here are some really cool stripes and lines down the side of him and on the side of him. And right here is another crested gecko, which is Tigger. From my last reptile tours, Tigger has grown a lot. Look at how big he is now. And he's a really cool tiger morph. When he gets fired up, he's this really cool orange color. And Tigger here is around 2 years old, so around the same age as Draco. And something cool about crested geckos is since they don't have eyelids, they use their tongues to lick their eyeballs. Just like he's doing right now, which is really cool. Right here we have this 20-gallon tank where it's home, as you can tell, my giant marine toad Mufasa. Right now it is kind of harder to see him because he was buried right over there because I was changing out his water and adding some new decor, as you can tell. And normally when I invade his little enclosure, he gets really mad about it and starts hiding. So in this tour you may not be able to see him, but he's right over there buried. Mufasa is doing really great. He is eating really well and eating tons of crickets every few days. When I first got Mufasa, he wasn't doing the best and wasn't eating, so I'm really glad a few months have passed and he's eating really well. And I can't wait till Mufasa grows up to be a just giant big old toad the size of a dinner plate. So it is now getting nighttime, and in this 30-gallon tank, it is a home to 3 white tree frogs. Right here on this bamboo branch is Kiwi, and he likes to croak a lot. And then over here is one of the biggest females I've ever seen, which is Gilbert. And she loves to do her little pose right there. And then in this corner over here, it's hard to see, we have Vinny, which has been sleeping all night while these two have been hunting for their crickets. And Gilbert is just crazy huge. Look at how big she is. These guys are living off a calcium dusted cricket diet, and they just love hunting their food. Here's Kiwi again. Here's a better review on Vinny chilling right here. I believe this one is also a male. It's hard to tell with white tree frogs. Have fun feasting on your crickets, Gilbert and Kiwi. Have fun with that. Next up, right here we have Pandora, a ball python. Right now she decided to come out here just to chill in her water. As soon as I turned on the light, she came up close. Look at how cool that pattern is on this ball python. Pandora is about 3 to 4 feet and will grow for a few more feet, which is really big. Currently she's housed in this big old enclosure, which she'll probably house in for the rest of her life. Personally, I think normal ball pythons and all ball pythons are pretty cute. Just look at their cute little face. Both of the snakes last night ate their meal, so they won't be eating tonight. Pandora's getting really close and wants to say hi. And if you ever wondered why they're called ball pythons, that is because of how they kind of roll up into a ball, which I'll put up on screen right here. Lily also has a beautiful enclosure with some snake plants and some pothos back there. And also something very cool to know, when snakes kind of flick their tongue out, it's them sensing people and stuff around them, like me. So when she flicks her tongue out, she's kind of like sensing the things around her, and she can sense me right now and can see me. And the beautiful patterns on these snakes are magnificent, and they're just amazing. I love ball pythons. Well, we'll leave you be for the rest of your night, Pandora, to hang on your water and explore your tank. See you later. Next up in this big old planted tank, we have Charlie the pied chameleon, and right now he's just basking beneath his little light, hanging on his branches. And on his arms and legs, you can see that he has this really cool pink color, and that's why he's called the pied chameleon. We won't bother him so much because chameleons don't like being bothered. In his enclosure, he has many plants and tons of places for him to hide out and hang out. And right here we have Hellraiser, the gargoyle gecko, and he has 2 big red stripes down his back. And this is one of the main species of gecko my dad is going to start breeding. Here he is out of his little Tupperware. He's really cool looking with those red stripes. Right here we have Boss, the pinstripe crested gecko. And right now he lost his tail when my dad first got him, but he's really big. He's really big for a crested gecko. So right here in this 18 by 18 by 24 tank, we have 2 giant tokay geckos, a male and a female, and we're gonna feed them right now. So a really cool fact about tokay geckos is that they're named after their mate call. Basically, when they make their mate call, it sounds like they're almost saying tokay, and that's how they were named. I will play a clip of it right now. So yeah, that's just some cool background knowledge on how the tokay gecko got their name. And here's the male after feeding. He's just hanging out. Probably doesn't like the bright light. And down here we have the female just hanging out. And they have really cool orange and blue colors. Really cool species of gecko. And right here we have another species of ball python. This is the pied ball python. Her name is Lily. In my opinion, this is definitely one of the cooler morphs of the ball python trade. And just look at her chill there. Right now, Lily's probably a little confused about what's going on with the light and stuff, but she's just hanging out in the dark, coming out to probably go in her water. And just look at those awesome colors on Lily. She's a really cool snake, and it seems to me she's getting closer to the light and camera. She just wants to figure out what's going on. She's in this really cool custom tank, and it looks really good. So this is the last snake of the reptile tour, and right here we have a species of western hognose snake. This is Ducky, the toffee belly conda hognose snake, and she's a really awesome snake. Right now she's in this little enclosure, but I believe here soon she's gonna be getting upgraded. Normally in the morning she likes to come out for a little bit and then go back to hiding and comes out maybe a little later. And what's really cool about the snake is that on their underside they have this black belly. That's why they're called toffee belly anacondas. They have that really black underside. And something really incredible about these snakes is that they can play dead. They'll flip over and show them their black belly, stick their tongue out, and act like they're playing dead, which is a really awesome trait for predators. And I believe Ducky is around at least a foot long, and she's getting pretty big. And Ducky has a really cool pattern on her, which looks awesome. Also, something else cool about this snake, she has a black tongue, which is very different from some other snakes. Normally they have pink or red tongues, so that's really cool. She has lots of cool little corkwood and some fake plants to hide in. She also has this little rock cave to hide in, just like Rocky the hognose. For the last animal of this reptile tour, we have Fred, the giant Pac-Man frog. As you can tell, this thing is huge. He's like at least the size of like this little bull right here, and he is really big. The tank was getting a little dry, so my dad has to rehydrate him and rehydrate the soil. So he's just chilling his little back of the water, looking really grumpy today. He just finished doing his little shed, and as you can see all of his bright colors on him. He has some yellows and some greens and some browns. He's a really big frog. So we just put Fred back into his little 20-gallon tank, and he is massive. For a little better view, you can see he's really big and chunky, and he's just chilling there. Look at how big this frog is. He likes to burrow in his soil and then chill in his water dish. Really big frog. Thank you for watching today's reptile tour. Hope you guys really enjoyed today's video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like. If you want to see more awesome videos of these amazing creatures, please subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next video. Goodbye, everyone.